Boy, Dominica, all you good? Or should I say, all you surviving? This week, Lord have mercy, it's been a lot. We have an update on the mother-daughter doing science experiments with school beef, a protest lineup longer than Trump's tariff list, and chicken washing up on Jamaican shores like it was applying for refugee status. And in the middle of it all, two Dominican queens were out there regionally representing 767 in style. So buckle up, sip something strong, and tell your neighbor hush, because this week's news is too hot to handle. Let's get into it. First up, straight out of secondary school dramaland. So you remember the mother and daughter who decided to settle that beef the Breaking Bad way? Yeah, well, the duo has been charged and released on bail after throwing what's believed to be an alkaline chemical on two schoolgirls. The mother is facing 4 charges, including assault with a liquid, being armed with a knife, aiding and abetting, and battery. Meanwhile, the 14-year-old daughter got her own set of charges, and her case is headed to juvenile court. Now, a question for you, is this deeper than just a fight? Are we failing our kids by letting school conflicts escalate to possible criminal charges? Now, from chaotic to tragic. A man in St. Joseph was found dead in his home, showing signs of being beaten. The Major Crime Unit is currently investigating, and 2 people were initially brought in. One has been released, and the other is in custody as the probe continues. Now, no jokes here. This is real. And as the investigation unfolds, we are reminded that behind every single police press release is a grieving family. What really happened, and is the community support even there anymore? Moving from crime to, well, political crime, depending on who you ask. The March 19th protest is still making headlines. Attorney Ronald Charles and UWP leader Dr. Thompson Fontaine were both arrested this week under the Riot Act and granted $25,000 bail each. Now that makes them number 24 and 25. It's like bingo, but make it a legal drama. Supporters say that this is intimidation. Critics say it's justice. What we know for sure is that the court system in Dominica these days, it's real busy and politics are hot. Now, are these arrests protecting the public peace, or are they punishing people for raising their voices? What are your thoughts on this? Next up, something that you don't see every day: destruction of confiscated weapons. Now, this isn't some action movie montage. It is a real initiative by the Dominica Police, CARICOM Impacts, US Embassy to raid our streets of illegal firearms. Now, according to Callistus Joseph from CARICOM Impacts, this is serious business. And honestly, it's about time. Listen to what Mr. Joseph had to say.
So, why the destruction of weapons? And the media and I guess the general public will be asking why the minister is saying he doesn't have money and why he's not using it back for the police. That would be the question they'll be asking. They should just use that back and give it to the police. So why the destruction of weapons? The destruction of confiscated, unserviceable and obsolete weapons is a vital step in our ongoing effort to strengthen public security and prevent armed violence. Even when weapons are no longer in active use, whether they are seized, whether they are outdated or damaged, they continue to pose a threat. If not properly destroyed, they can re-enter illicit circulation, stolen from storage facilities, trafficked across borders, or sold through illegal networks, eventually finding their way back in the hands of criminals. Destruction ensures that these weapons are permanently removed from our communities and that they can never again be used to threaten lives or undermine the rule of law. Moreover, unserviceable weapons, those that no longer function reliably, are not without danger. They may be discharged accidentally or be stolen from inadequately secured stockpiles. Destroying them eliminates these risks entirely and affirm our commitment to responsible weapons management.
If only we could do the same with fake WhatsApp news and passive aggressive voice notes, right? Well, I'm asking you, is this kind of reform what we need? Or is it just a start to a bigger security puzzle? What are your thoughts on this, and will it help our communities? All right, time to celebrate some good news. Dominican women are making moves. Kalinago chief Annette Sanford and Olympic gold medalist Thea Lafon Gatson were selected as featured speakers at the ECCB 9th Annual Growth and Resilience Dialogue in St. Kitts. Annette delivered a talk on preserving Indigenous stories, while Thea spoke about strategic sports investment across the OECS. Call it brains, brawn, and brilliance all in one summit. Congratulations to these beautiful and intelligent women for definitely representing us well. And what are your takes, guys, on Chief Sanford and Thea's speech topics? Share in the comment section. And heading over to Jamaica, where folks were spotted looting a container of chicken that washed ashore in Hellshire. Yes, you heard right. Raw chicken from the ocean, like a poultry episode of Survivor. Health officials are warning that the chicken is unfit for human or even animal consumption. It wasn't refrigerated, inspected, or approved for entry into Jamaica. But hunger is real, and that's what's scary. Let's watch the video. How do we balance poverty-driven desperation with basic public health? And more importantly, would you eat washed-up chicken? And finally, trade war escalation. So you remember last week we spoke about Trump putting tariffs on every country in the world? Well, China is fighting back. China has raised tariffs on US goods to 125% just hours after the Chinese president said, and I quote, "There are no winners in a tariff war." Well, apparently that was just vibes, because right after the speech, they raised the price wall even higher than the Eiffel Tower. Markets are dipping, oil prices are spiraling, and the French president Emmanuel Macron called Trump's 90-day tariff pause fragile. Translation: messy. If the US and China go full economic tit for tat, what happens to small economies like ours? So that's it for this week. From chemical warfare in schools to Olympic level empowerment and the chicken apocalypse of Jamaica. Stay sharp, Dominica. Be safe. And if you see a suspicious container on the beach, it's not a blessing. It's bacteria. See you next week.